Straight ahead on UT Today, we're talking about sex. That's right, UT will be hosting a sex week to better educate students on the topic. We have all the details surrounding the big event. Also, a wildfire scorching across much of Pigeon Forge is causing a lot of problems for residents and visitors. The fire has even received national attention as it continues to burn across 300 acres in Sevier County. And the Vols received some bad news when they learned their journey would not continue into the NCAA tournament. We have students' reactions coming up. Welcome to UT Today. I'm Stammy Kincaid, and thanks for joining us. The Birds and the Bees talk is usually reserved for parents, but UT plans on discussing that and many other sexual topics after spring break. From a Tony Award-winning musical to concepts about virginity, UT Sex Week will take on the taboo subject with lectures, exhibits, and other events. Organizers began advertising the event with paper signs emblazoned with sex in giant font. They got more creative around Valentine's Day when they gave out flowers made of condoms. More information can be found on the Facebook page Sex Week at the University of Tennessee. Here's a preview for the week.
Knowledge, now.
I have questions.
I have questions, but I can't talk to my dad, my mom,
Roommate.
teacher, sister, or brother.
I support Sex Week at UT.
I support Sex Week at UT.
I support Sex Week at UT.
I have sex.
I have sex.
Hi, I have sex.
I have sex.
I love having condom sex too.
I support Sex Week UT.
I support Sex Week at UT.
I support Sex Week UT.
I support Sex Week UT.
This is a great initiative. I support Sex Week at UT. Awareness is key.
I support Sex Week UT.
I support Sex Week at UT.
I support Sex Week at UT.
Support Sex Week at UT.
I have sex.
My friends have sex.
And
We support Sex Week.
The SGA campaign candidates are continuing to spread the word about their parties across campus. Candidates hope to tackle important issues for students at UT. The Baker Ashley campaign hopes to institute block seating at football games as well as larger access to health care on campus.
I know that one that I'm really excited about is instituting a minute clinic concept in the Student Health Center. A lot of times when students get sick and they try to get an appointment, they have to wait such a long time that by the time their appointment actually rolls around, they've either had to go to a Walgreens Minute Clinic and pay money to be seen, or wait for the UT Med Center for the UT Med Center to take them because the Student Health Center is closed and you can go.
The Engaged Party also has plans to make changes for UT students. One major policy point they'd like to see is creating a council of presidents for leaders on campus.
We want to share that leadership, those leadership roles, and create something called the Council of Presidents. Not a president's cabinet where someone receives advice and then advocates for students on behalf of students, but something that would discussion, a dialogue amongst leaders in SAA, BCC, LGBTQA, and other various organizations that sit down, discuss the issues at hand, so then when I advocate to Chancellor Cheek or when I advocate to Susan Martin, Provost Martin, or when they do, that we can have a resounding voice and to advocate for those issues.
Each party will be campaigning up until election week starting on April 1st. We'll have more details about the candidates after spring break. One of the issues SGA might have to deal with involves parking. Every Monday night, hundreds of Greek women travel to Sorority Village to attend their weekly meeting, but their parking makes their commute extra difficult. There is minimal parking available for women who do not live in the village. Commuters are forced to park either across the street in the visitor center or find parking outside of Sorority Village. Students think it's inconvenient.
Every Monday, we used to only have to leave about 10 minutes prior. Now we have to leave about 30 minutes at least if we want to find parking.
Parking Services is currently looking at different options to accommodate non-residents. Commuters will still have to find parking outside of Sorority Village because of the number of residents living in the village.
It's likely that parking on site will have to be relegated just to the sorority members because there's going to be probably 500 members that'll be in the housing.
Considering that Sortie Village is still a construction site, Parking Services is surprised the complaints have been minimal. They encourage carpooling and taking advantage of the bus system that runs to and from the village. Some sororities were also putting their Friday night to good use. Circle Park is usually quiet after Friday classes, but this week, music blasted through the air as the boot-clad students danced the night away. Gamma Gamma Sigma, Sigma Sigma Rho, and Phi Mu Alpha put on Walk the Line to raise funds for the Salvation Army and the Family Justice Center. They mainly played the line dancing songs including The Wobble, The Cupid Shuffle, and the well-known Cha-Cha Slide. Several students also thought it was a great alternative for usual weekend activities.
On campus, it's really easy access to get to it. It's lots of fun dancing. I'm having fun. It's just a great way to spend a Friday night.
Parties have their place, but I mean, who wouldn't want to come out and dance for a charity? And if they had more of these, I would more than likely go.
A wildfire that broke out in Pigeon Forge over the weekend is still going strong. Flames could be seen near Wares Valley Road.
If they could avoid the Wares Valley area of Pigeon Forge right now, this is still an active fire and is still being worked until it's under control. For traffic purposes and for safety, if people would please remain off of Wares Valley Road, that'd be very helpful.
The fire has burned over 300 acres and more than 35 structures, including rental cabins. Officials say this is one of the largest fires to ever hit Sevier County. This morning, the Tennessee Army National Guard sent its Black Hawk helicopters to assist in the relief process.
I talked to him earlier before I headed up here, and I could hear the helicopters, and he said the helicopters are flying over, and that's about the only time I've got to communicate with him because, of course, he's trying to fight a fire, so I don't get to talk to him as much.
This morning, the Kingwood Inn Hotel in Gatlinburg offered free shelter to people who had to evacuate their homes as a result of the fire. Mayor Madeline Rogero has made an effort to promote outdoor recreation and tourism in Knoxville. Part of her work includes the opening of the Outdoor Knoxville Adventure Center, which gives residents and visitors access and information about how to take advantage of the city's outdoor fun.
Knoxville calls itself the gateway to the Smokies, but until recently the city was keeping the gate to the Great Valley locked. Now Legacy Parks Foundation has created the Outdoor Knoxville Adventure Center, which has a mission to make East Tennessee the best place to play outdoors.
It's a perfect opportunity to promote recreation and getting outdoors.
Public Affairs Specialist for Knoxville Parks and Recreation, Kathleen Gibby, says the city is hoping to use its natural resources to create its own identity.
We're at the foot of the Smoky Mountains, and we've got beautiful Tennessee River and Holston River going right through our city. So we've always had that strong asset, but actually having the identity as a city with that outdoor asset has not been something that we've necessarily possessed.
Outdoor tourism brings $6 billion a year into Tennessee. Part of those funds are used to preserve land, expand parks, and create trails and greenways for residents and visitors. UT student Kendrick Stiles says he's noticed the city's push for outdoor recreation.
The city's done really well lately of providing greenways and things of that nature.
But Gibby says not all residents are aware of the city's outdoor opportunities.
Because what a travesty, it's one thing for a community to need a greenway and it not exist, but it's a really bad thing for a greenway to be there and them not know about it.
Knoxville now has over 2,000 acres of parks and over 65 miles of greenways and trails. But Outdoor Knoxville is promoting the recreational use of the rivers for things like kayaking, canoeing, and paddleboarding.
There's just all kinds of things that you can do, and that's what's making Knoxville really unique.
For UT Today, I'm Brittany Nauta.
Paddleboards, canoes, kayaks, and other outdoor equipment can be rented at the Outdoor Knoxville Adventure Center. And now with their new river put-in takeout, you can drop your rented boat right into the Tennessee River. With the start of spring just 2 days away, allergies are already in full bloom. One allergy affecting more and more people involves peanuts. UT Today reporter MC Suhaki took an inside look at one child's battle.
All the way to the grandma's house.
Very good.
3-year-old JC Jarman is like many other kids her age. She spends her days playing without having a care in the world. But when JC turned 2, she learned that she was different from many other 2-year-olds her age. This is because she was diagnosed with a peanut allergy. Peanut allergies have tripled over the last decade. JC's mom, Gina, has great reason to be concerned because her daughter's reactions to peanuts are life-threatening.
She starts rashing, her throat swells, her nose closes. Basically her oxygen is cut off.
Many people know that Chick-fil-A cooks their hand-breaded chicken in peanut oil, but what these individuals might not know is that people with peanut allergies can actually eat Chick-fil-A without having to worry about having a reaction. And the peanut oil at Chick-fil-A does not contain this protein, so they can eat Chick-fil-A without having any worry of a reaction. If someone with a peanut allergy has a reaction, one option is to use an EpiPen. Tommy Goodwin is an RN who works at Webb School. She has to always be ready to administer an EpiPen.
When you give it, you want to go in the thigh, in the big muscle in the thigh, and you give a fast jab.
JC and an estimated 3 million other Americans have peanut allergies, and that number continues to rise. But the question of how people even as young as JC can develop a peanut allergy remains.
They have lots of speculation about what they think is causing it, but nobody knows for sure really why these allergies have increased tremendously.
Even though there is no known cure for a peanut allergy, about 20% of cases go away on their own as the child grows. Despite JC's allergy, Gina does not let it get in the way of her daughter's development.
I think the world is made with nuts and peanuts everywhere. So for me, it's about teaching her that she can't have everything.
For now, JC can just be nuts about being a kid. For UT Today, this is MC Sahaki reporting.
4 out of every 100 children have a food allergy. Even though there is no known explanation for the increase in peanut allergies, the leading theory involves hygiene. The immune system is exposed to fewer germs due to the increase in vaccines, sanitation, antibiotics, and other factors. For more information on peanut allergies, consult your family doctor. There were many unhappy UT fans walking around Rocky Top this morning. Yesterday, the UT men's basketball team learned they did not make it to the NCAA tournament. Students had strong opinions about the decision.
Oh, I think it's a little bit ridiculous that some team like Middle Tennessee, as many wins as they have, it's clear it wasn't over the same type of competition. And if the NCAA tournament is going to judge them independently like they say they are, then really they should be looking at the quality of wins, not necessarily the numbers. And I think clearly that puts us over them.
I think that the men's team had a really good season for the most part. I think they kind of let some games slip through that really determine their fate, which is kind of the sad part.
I feel like the team's good enough to do well in the NIT, but I definitely would have liked for them to be in the NCAA, and they deserved it, but what can you do? That's a good team.
Tennessee, they have a lot of talent, and if they're not going to be really good at the NIT this year, they sure as heck are going to dominate next
UT
year.
will be the number 2 seed in the NIT. The Vols will host Mercer in the first round of the tournament Wednesday at Thompson Bowling Arena at 8 p.m. From Tennessee basketball to baseball, Tennessee baseball got off to a slow start with their almost entirely new roster of 18 freshmen. However, one senior has stepped up his game. After an incredible summer experience and phenomenal start to his senior season, Zach Godley has really stepped up and become a strong leader for the team. Starting each Friday night of his senior year, Zach Godley didn't always come natural to leading his team. However, this summer, he was able to train among the best of the best pitchers in the nation on Team USA under Tennessee's head coach, Dave Serrano.
Getting to play with those guys and some of the best pitchers in the country, it was great. Even with some of the hitters, I mean, I got to learn a lot about hitters and a lot about pitchers. So, I mean, it was a great experience for me, and I'm glad Coach gave me that chance.
Pitching and hitting are not the only skills that strengthened during his time with Team USA. Godley learned from the examples of other pitchers on how to lead his own team.
Oh, it's different for me being the vocal guy this year because I'm used to trying to do the best I can leading by example. So leading as a vocal leader this year has been a little bit different for me, but I think I've done all right with it.
Godley has taken notes off the field by observing, as well as on the field by leading as example to help improve his leadership skills. Head coach Dave Serrano notices the leadership displayed from Godley, as he has really shown these skills so far this season.
Zach has done a tremendous job in leadership, almost to the point where he's done too good of a job, to be honest with you, where I had to pull him aside a couple weeks ago and told him that it's important for him to lead, but he needs to worry a little bit more about himself that goes out and pitches 8 or 9 innings. And that's the best thing he could do for us in leadership.
And leading by example has not been a hard task for Godley, as he has been producing that desired backwards K, strikeout after strikeout, and you guessed it, after strikeout. And that's all Godley wishes he can do for the team to bring home another W. For UT Today, I'm Sammy Kincaid. Godley is the Friday night starter for the Vols and hopes to continue to help lead the team, not only in leadership, but to a winning season. That's all for us at UT Today. I'm Sammy Kincaid. Have a good evening.